Alright, I got it bolted in place temporarily. Let's see if it works. Uh-oh. Oh, wonderful. Starts when I turn it backwards. Oops. Arrgh. Now what? Yep. Backwards. It's a switch from a right-hand drive. Jeez, I'm a crow. Alright, I gotta do something about that. Reverse it? I don't know. Take it apart again. Here we go. So, I went up my ladder again and I pulled off a switch from a... What year was that truck? Had to have been 83 or older because it didn't have the turn signal mounted dimmer windshield wiper. I like that 84 and up. Important to me. Anyways, I try to plug it in. Of course, it doesn't plug in because there's a little jog here for an extra clippy. So, took my trusty grinder and I just snapped the plastic off because everything else looks the same. All the connectors are the same. I could go up to the Flap, friendly local auto parts store, and get a new one, but I can't be bothered. I want to go see what Fruit Loops is doing. I got some wood to pick up. I'll just get one later. Actually, I don't even have to use the blazer. Toyota. Alrighty, I'm going to try this one and see if it works. Want to watch? Okay. Big fire in Colorado, I just heard. Oh, come on. There, one pluggy. I think the black one goes in first. I noticed that there's also a special That's how that goes. There's also a special connector holder on the other one to stop this wire harness from unplugging, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Alright, now I gotta set it on top. Luckily I labeled the switches before I started playing with them. Lay it on top of the wire gizmo, the metal rod, and pull it backwards. Oh boy. Thomas Edison, I'm not. Nothing. Bolts in. Put the stud nut in. All right. Park. Crank her up! Glow plugs. Click! Fast idle. Glow plugs off, otherwise they'll burn out and expand inside the head, and that's not a good thing. Crank her up! I can't reach the steering column thingy. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. I know, gravel trucker, I know. Don't forget to plug the wire back into the injection pump. I hear the fan going. There we go, tiny spark. Holy cramoli. To the back, Robin! Crank her up! Diesel smoke. Roll some coal. Alright. I got that figured out. I'll get a new one in any case. Lots of parts. Lots of junk. Now you know how to do it. Alright, progress report. I know the sun is blinding, but I flipped the wires over and I laid the switch on top of the bent rod. This rod here, I know it's sunny. I know, I'll try to block the sun. And I don't have to turn the switch, I just have to turn the ignition key. I don't have to do that. Of course, it doesn't work much because nothing's bolted in place. But all I have to do is just slide this switch backwards and see what happens. Cool, huh? Listen. Paying attention? Don't raise the bridge, lower the river. Crank her up! Yep, she's a runner. All I have to do to turn it off is block the sun like that. Cool, huh? Alright, I guess I put all the parts back in the way they belong, hopefully. I don't have a radio, so I can't tell if the radio works. Let's see if this works. There we go. Interesting. All right. Let's put this back together and go get some wood from the sawmill. Well, I just tightened up all the screws and I tested it one last time, and you got to turn the key all the way forward to make it work. It's not working now because I loosened all the screws, but there's an adjustment. I went the wrong way. I moved it towards the steering wheel. You have to move it away from the steering wheel. See that adjustment? So if you move it away, when you turn this, it makes it pull it more. Then you get the crank action, because I had to turn the key right to the end, and I got a phone call. I'm going to tell you about it in a second. 704 area code. I said, oh, another wrong number. I get wrong numbers every day, and they usually just hang up. What am I going to do? Call them back and say, this is Corvair Wild on YouTube. What are you doing bugging me? No, just say, sorry. Your recorder, talk. I'm trying to reach Bill. Won't you go fishing? I don't fish, so that's not for me. So I got a phone call, and the guy says, "Hi," and I said, "How you doing?" In my best Southern accent, trying to fit the part, talk the talk. And his cell phone was going, and I thought it was Gas Sub Wild 8101 in Japan calling me, because it sounded Japanese. It wasn't no Southern accent. It was friggin' gibberish. You got a gas, and I said, wait a second, I can hardly make you out because the phone's going wow, 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 wow. Anyhow, it was a guy calling up for a 6.5 throttle pedal. How's it work now? Oh, look at that. See, before I had to turn it right to the end. Still turning it to the end. I'm going to try adjust it some more. I'll take you in the shade for a minute. You can look at my pile of junk. So anyways, the guy was calling me up from the south. I'm in the North, and he had a gas pedal for sale that he said was 2 weeks old when he bought it, and who knows how old it is now because I could hardly understand him. But he wanted $100. I offered him 50. I said, well, I already got one in the truck from my white Suburban. He said, yeah, I'll take 50. So I bought it. I got to send him the money. He's going to text me his address. There's my 97 one that doesn't fit because the wires are different. There's my 95 one from the green Suburban. I'll send him a postal money order, and he'll send me back the throttle pedal. He sounds like a good guy. He's got a 6.5, and he told me that a neighbor of his has a 6.5 pickup, a 95, with a non-turbo. I didn't know they made them non-turbo in the pickups. Thought only in the vans for a couple of years. All right, I'm going to tinker with this a little bit more. Tight squeeze. Tight squeeze. You can smell the fluid film. I sprayed fluid film. So I'm going to push that as far away as I can. That's it. I'm going to buy a new one. Good made in Mexico one. I wonder if my buddy listener Jim made a video of that bad boy Corvair Monza SS that those guys in Wisconsin built from drawings. I'd take one any day of the week. There. I don't know if I made any difference here. Crank her up! Yep. Gauge is right there. Doesn't turn much further. Alright, it's good enough. Alrighty.